Welcome back, Blade Gang. This old sword's here. Got a new fixed blade from Civivi. They've been churning them out. And although, big caveat here, this is D2, not your favorite amongst many of you, but many of you don't mind because it is a decent steel. It's just one that is some years old as far as knives go. So not Nitro V, not any of that, and keeps the price down. However, these go for a little bit more with the fancy Ultem handles on it than some of the other models in this Propugnator. Did you hear me? Propugnator. Well, man, they are running out of names, right? Propugnator is a noun. It is an obsolete noun, according to the dictionary. It means defender or vindicator. Why not just call it that then? I don't know, because there's other names named defender and vindicator. I got a vindicator from Kaiser. It's a pretty fine folder. Okay, let's take a look at it. The Propugnator. It is a design by JP Knives, a Polish designer and knife maker. This is a bad boy. It is a design that is really pretty much aligned with tactical defensive use. Knife fighting, for instance. I don't know. Have you been in a knife fight lately? You might have. You might have. Okay, somebody's going to come back and say, yeah, had 3 or 4 of them the past month. But yeah, I mean, we carry knives because we like them, because they can cut, and because in a pinch, they can defend us and the family. Yes. So D2 with a pretty nice kind of bright stonewash on it. An interesting fuller that I'm not sure really serves much purpose other than cosmetic. Kind of makes it look cool. And the Ultem handle on this, I think, is a really nice choice. They went quickly. Yes, these are sold out at White Mountain at the moment. This is early December 2023. If you're seeing this a year later, they may be available in abundance or may have already gone by the wayside. Hard to say in this knife world these days where things come and go so quickly. But look what we got here. We've got what they're calling a reverse tanto, really only because of this one little feature here that would ever make it a reverse tanto. But you've got a flat grind here. Near as I can tell, it's flat. And we have kind of a dished out, I'm going to call that a hollow. I am not 100% sure, okay? So I'm going to give it one more try. They might both be flat, but they had to arc that in a little bit to get that fancy compound. So I'm going to call it, what am I going to call it? I'm going to call it a flat grind, although I could be wrong. It's pretty hard to tell. I know some people are telling me, well, just take a straight edge and lie it across the blade. What do I have that's straight around here? Things falling on the floor. See, it's too short. Wait a minute now. This could be a hollow. That could be a flat. I'd say they're both flat. Don't have a metal straight edge handy, but I'm not going to dwell on it. Some nice jimping here, rather file-like. A short run of maybe 3/4 of an inch, something like that. Holds well. And I've got a swale there for my thumb. Really, really nice. I mean, you get a solid hold on this. And for those that are asking about Ultem and if it's slippery, it's smooth. And it doesn't have a texture like micarta or even G10 when it's left rough. But it has an interesting rosin-like feel. It's the only way that I can describe it. You know, if you've ever, played an instrument and you have some rosin, like for a bow, I'm giving myself away. I played violin in 2nd grade, or was it 4th grade? Gave it up pretty quickly, though. Went to the guitar later on. But it doesn't have really a slippery feel. It actually kind of grabs you. See? Really, it's an interesting stuff. It's pyethylamide. Is that right? Something like that. And anyway, it's called PIE, the generic term. But this does come in a black blade. It comes in micarta. Comes in this blade with a black handle. This a black blade with a green handle. That kind of stuff. I'll leave you links. Again, came from White Mountain. If you can't find this one and you really are in love with it, try looking Blade HQ, Knife Center, etc. Well, I've talked enough. Got a really cool design, I think, by JP Knives. And it's kind of right in the size that I like, although not as carryable as smaller ones. 8.6 inches overall, with a blade 4¼ inches and a cutting edge of 4 1/8. Other dimensions. Blade thickness, pretty good thickness there. Yeah, 4.3 millimeters. Blade thickness. 0.16. Handle thickness, try to get it there so we get an average. 0.61. So there's plenty to hang on to. And the weight. In ounces, 5.52 ounces. For a fixed blade of this size and this steel thickness, not bad. Again, D2, not cryo, not anything else, just plain old D2. And I think it's 59 to 61, if I'm correct. Let's talk a little bit about the sheath. As with all of the knives I have from Civivi, this comes with a very nice, thick sheath. And that sheath fits extremely well. Love it when they snap in, snap out, and there is no rattle. Very, very nice. Comes outfitted with I was going to say Ulti-Clip Tech Lock, an official Bob Trezola Tech Lock. There you go. He was the inventor, apparently, as with inventing many other things. Well, let's see how this stacks up against the Maxwell, a Macy Torby design, another Polish knife maker. They seem to like this interesting, faceted. I could almost have guessed, and I would be incorrect, that this was a Macy Torby design, or that this could be a JP Knives design. Don't they look radically similar with the big fuller? This is a much taller blade, but I see kind of the same thing going on here. Got a rock pattern, however, going on the handle of the Propugnator. Propugnator. Man, I ain't going to say that too many times. I got to read it. Much bigger knife here with the Maxwell, like almost 2 inches longer and like 1.25 inches longer blade. So considerably bigger. I said we had a 4 1/4 inch blade there. We've got a 4 3/4 inch blade there, and an overall length of like 10 1/4 inches. So a bit more handle going on with the Maxwell. If you never grabbed one of these, they are a cool knife. Also in D2. And, you know, my theory is that Civivi tests the waters with these radical designs by putting them out in D2. Here is the Orthrus, a very wild design. And this is a switchable, bends like an elbow crook, so it turns into a karambit. And it has edges everywhere. It's got teeth. It's got an edge. It's got an upper edge. It's got an upper curve. It's got 4 edges, if you can believe that. The orthrus, if you haven't seen or heard of that before. Also coming in quite a good sheath. By the way, you saw that bend. That will fit in there this way or this way, which is kind of cool. Gives you a little more rib room. Here's the Koban by Cold Steel for compare. Pretty popular knife amongst many of you. Longer and a Americanized tanto. And finally, for compare, the Street Beat by Spyderco, my standard for compare. And a good deal smaller, whether you're talking about the blade, which is about 1 inch shorter, or overall, which is about 1.5 inches shorter. All very nice and capable, trusty knives. We're going to see if we can do a paper cut with this guy. Hang on. I did want to mention, for those that might bring it up, that this Propugnator came with a lanyard, as do I think all of the Civivi fixed blades. For this particular use of this knife, that's going to be carried close to the body perhaps, and used for EDC/tactical defensive purposes, so I take these off. For those of you that have told me that these work out well for the woods, if you're going to chop with it and you don't want to lose it out of the hand, I think, you know, it's a great idea. But otherwise, for me, my opinion, it's kind of a useless appendage. And I like my knives clean so that nothing gets in the way. All right. So, okay. Got some good edges going here. I think it'll do okay. Let's see. Well, gotta decide which edge we're going to use, right? That one's good. The inner edge, not, well, it's okay. I think we got more of an edge going up here for sure. And that could be for the reason that it is a much taller, much higher grind than down here. So little stropping, like I always say, little stropping will improve any knife coming straight from the factory. Well, the Propugnator, Propugnator, okay? The Propugnator, Defender or Vindicator. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. I'll be back soon.